Tua Tagovailoa, the most polarizing player in the NFL. Do you hate him or do you love him? The 5th overall pick of the 2020 NFL Draft has had anything but a traditional path to fame and stardom in the NFL. Once touted to be one of the best QB prospects to come out of college, a devastating hip injury altered his trajectory as many presumed he would have been the number 1 overall pick. From Tuanon to Tua haters, the young QB seems to have his fair share of people who follow his career and seem to have an unhealthy obsession with either building this guy up or tearing him down. Today, sports fans, football fans, Dolph fans, or those who like to squish the fish, let's dive deeper into the reasons why Tua is looked at in such a different light than other QBs, and if these reasons are valid or just myths. Injury prone, myth. Is Tua injury prone? This is a tough one, so yeah, he gets injured, but let's see what injury prone constitutes. Dictionaries tell us that injury prone means frequently injured or often sustaining injuries. When people say injury prone, they usually have someone's injury history in mind. The phrase itself is not concerned about types of injuries or the reason behind them. The phrase itself is not concerned about types of injuries or the reason behind them. That's a little telling. Let's look. Tua gets a freak hip injury in college in a game versus Mississippi State that could have been career-ending. One could compare the injury to Bo Jackson's famous injury, which prematurely ended his football career, and 3 years later his baseball career. Some have argued Bo Jackson was the greatest athlete of all time. Well, Tua was able to repair that hip and was able to get back on the field. And not just any field, an NFL field to be exact. The NFL's 2020 5th overall pick was able to start NFL games taking vicious hits.
There on Eric Flowers, and you see that's a fumble. That's a fumble. He did not get it. Was a quarterback at the Naval Academy.
Ouch, Aaron Donald. It's been 4 years and still no lower body injuries have happened yet. Doesn't seem too injury prone there, fractured ribs. Don't most QBs with bad O-lines suffer these types of injuries yearly? Look at this vicious hit. Oh, look at AJ Espinosa on this play. We'd love to see the QB who survives this hit unscathed. And this injury wasn't a repeat offender. Also because Tua has impeccable footwork in the pocket and his escapability is special. So how could this be considered as injury prone? The broken finger injury. Most would consider this one a strange coaching decision. He's not well enough to start, but well enough to play backup for Jacoby Brissett? Why have him in the game at all? If he could play, he should start.
Should go back on the field. Head coach Brian Flores stopped him, pointed at Tua, and told Tua that he was going in. Jacoby Brissett clearly frustrated as he headed back to the bench. The thing to watch with Tua right now with that fractured finger is his grip getting the clap.
Especially if he came in as relief in the Baltimore game and outplayed a former league MVP and came back to win the game. He also did it this year in week 2. Knowing what we know about his relationship with the last regime, some feel sabotage may have been in the works.
Tua, there was a lot said about you and Flo's relationship. What would you consider you and Flo's relationship?
Big question. That's a big question, huh? Well, I'll tell you this. I'm very thankful that he drafted me to come here to play for the Miami Dolphins. That's what I'd say.
Concussions, not a myth. Concussions are valid. Take a closer look at these 3 difficult ways he hits the ground. Back of his head seems to hit the ground because Tua seems to do nothing to try and break his fall or reduce impact of whiplash. Some believe if he would have just landed differently that maybe these concussions would not have happened. Well, Tua's been taking jiu-jitsu and judo to get better at landing. Some experts might find it comical that the use of martial arts would help reduce the risk of head and neck injury. Others, like former O-lineman Mike Pollock, have avoided serious injuries from using jiu-jitsu techniques. Why wouldn't a contact sport which throws people to the ground and has a high risk of head injury take a few pointers from another contact sport which also sees people thrown to the ground but has a low risk of head injury?
I don't know how effective it'll be, Miles, but it's smart, and it's a concession that he needs to do something because the physics aren't in his favor. When you're 6 feet tall and built like me, which is kind of how he's built, you're going to get thrown to the ground by some big, strong guys. And you better have a plan for not letting your head hit the turf because that's how he got each of his 3 concussions in 2022.
Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but why not try? Mike Pollock tried and succeeded. Lack of mobility. Myth. We won't say much here. Seems actions speak louder than words.
Tua with time and now going to pull it down and run.
Oh, right in the chest. How does that feel, Mr. Michael Carter II? Look at these two highlights from his rookie season in Arizona.
Stadium, Tua getting towards the red zone.
Spins the wrong way, stays on his feet, sneaks through. Tua down the middle and down to the 10.
Is that Budda Baker? Perennial Pro Bowler Budda Baker? Sir, I think you left your cleats back there. Look at this pocket presence.
Tagovailoa.
Whoop!
Here they come with Washington. There he goes.
Touchdown! Here's another from the same game. Step up, wait for it, wait for it. Boom! Game winner! Can't throw deep. Myth. We've been through this already. Here are more highlights and stats showing the exact opposite. Oop, is that Waddle running free deep and touchdown? Tyreek Hill.
Here's a deep ball. Watch Hill. Perfect.
Tyreek Hill.
Loads up and wants Tyreek Hill.
And Tyreek Hill again.
Field, Hamilton freezes, which you can't do with Tyreek.
Deep. Leading the league in these stats for the better part of the 2022 season. EPA, QBR, yards per attempt, accuracy. Yes, head injuries may have derailed his season, but when healthy and on the field, Tua and Miami Dolphins are a force to be reckoned with. Is the hate on Tua unwarranted? You make your choice and let us know in the comments.